What's up, everybody? Thank you for joining us here inside Cavanaugh Hall in the Jag Sports Zone studio. I'm your host, Tommy Novotny, and together with the Jag Sports Zone team, we'll get you all the Jags highlights, calendar events, and exclusive interviews with IUPUI athletes hosted right here in the studio. All right, Jags, let's hop right into it. Women's volleyball finished their season up last week. In Game 1, the Flames and Jags went back and forth, but IUPUI could not finish with points on the board. Our IUPUI net cam caught some close battles at the top, with number 14, Allie Pogue, leading the challenges there. Our girls met the Flames at a number of times to kill, but UIC consistently won battles, finishing up the first game 3-0. As our girls started their last game of the season, they took on UIC for one last meet at the net. In Game 2, our girls started out well, scoring some big points by number 7, Malay Madison, and even though they had some help by number 14, Allie Pogue, who leads in kills, the Flames burned the Jags with the final score of the season, 3-0. In women's soccer, we have good news and bad news about our undefeated women's team that faced off against Youngstown State last week. The good news, our ace goalie AP Woodall held the Penguins scoreless the entire game. As for the bad news, the Penguins held the Jags scoreless as well, and even when the game went into double overtime, neither team could squeeze one in the net, finishing with a tie of 0-0. Moving on to men's soccer, we also have good and bad news. Our men's Jags took on the Panthers in Milwaukee over the weekend. The good news is that game didn't end in a tie. The bad news, the Jags couldn't score, taking a loss with the final score of 4-0. Our men's track and field team rested as their meet was canceled, but our women's runner laced up for the big race at the Yellow Jacket Collegiate Open. And what a huge day it was. With 6 school records and 22 personal best times, the women's track and field team thrived in the outdoor event. Not only with all new records on the board, the team also took advantage of podium spots, finishing 6th out of 22 teams. Here in the Jaguar Sports Zone studio, we love record setter, so congratulations specifically to the girls on this graphic. Check this out. IUPUI broke the 4x100 relay record, Marie Terry broke 2 other records in the 100 and the 400 hurdles, and Amani Miles also padded another record in the 200 dash. And our very own Michaela Miller breaking her own school record with almost a 300-meter javelin throw. And just to finish things off, Michaela Clampett wanted another record as well, grabbing a new school time for the 100-meter dash. Way to go, Jags. Transitioning over to tennis, our women's team hosted UIC here in Indianapolis last week. Sadly, our girls just couldn't stop UIC as they ran the scoreboard, sending the girls home scoreless. As the second game rolled around, it seemed as if the girls didn't have the energy, and as they took that loss 1-6. Our men's team spent last week in Youngstown, Ohio, attempting to beat out the 8-5 Penguins. Sadly, Eric Hollingsworth and Alex Joachim were the only players for the Jags who could put points on the board as the Jags fell to Youngstown 5-2. In the second game, the guys seemed gassed as they fell to Youngstown 6-1. The past 2 days, our men and women's golf team have been on the road competing in the Julie and Jewel tournament. It kicked off on Monday in Lansing Point, Kentucky. Be sure to visit IUPUIJags.com/calendar to check out all the live stats from the Invitational. Great job to all of our Jag golfers, and stick around after the break for when we update on where our golfers head to next. Our women's soccer team took on the NKU Norse here at Carroll Stadium yesterday. And if you missed it live, you could have found it hosted on ESPN+. Great job, Jags. That's all the highlights that we have for you here in Cavanaugh Hall, but don't go anywhere. We're going to take a quick 60-second break, and when we come back, we have another exclusive interview with a Jaguar athlete that you do not want to miss. Stay put, and we'll be right back.
It's always out there. The horizon. A reminder that our greatest goals are rarely attained. And as soon as you reach one, another emerges. But every day we rise and work harder, dig deeper, ask one more question, take one more shot in relentless pursuit of our horizon. It's always...
Welcome back to Cavanaugh Hall, and I'm your host, Cody Ferris. We're in the Jag Sports Zone studio, and we are very excited to show you an exclusive interview we had with fellow Jaguar who witnessed 6 school records being broken last week. Let's check it out. We are thrilled to have Sabrina Elder with us via Zoom. Welcome onto the show, Sabrina. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. Thanks for having me.
It's awesome. We're excited to talk and get some insight from you, so let's get right into it. So the first question we got for you is, so tell us how about some of the recent events that you've ran and some personal records you've achieved recently.
So indoor conference was a big weekend for me. I ran the 800. I was also a leg in the 4x4 and the DMR. So I scored in all of those, and I was lucky enough to win the conference championship in the 800, which was just a great experience. And then recently, this weekend, we had our first outdoor meet, and I ran the 1500 for the first time actually, but I ran a time faster than I thought I was going to be able to. And our 4x4 clocked in another good time, even though we didn't have all of our normal legs there. So yeah, I was pretty happy with all of those recent accomplishments.
Definitely, that's awesome. The team hasn't ran in an outdoor meet since 2019. How did you guys transfer everything you've been working on to an outdoor track?
Well, we have been training a lot outdoors, especially with limited resources throughout the winter. The biggest thing has just been training with what we have and not making excuses, because there are a lot of schools that have had to deal with situations even probably worse than we have. So yeah, just trying new things and continuing to work hard no matter what.
Got to keep that attitude. You were limited to only 3 meets as a freshman due to an injury. How have you grown from this and been able to put up such great numbers after having a tough freshman year?
I was very, very motivated after my freshman year, getting injured right before some of the bigger meets. So I've definitely grown. I know my body better, and I'm able to tell my coach, like, I need a day off, or, just knowing the limits to push. But I've also just always been so motivated because I came to college with so many goals that I wanted to accomplish on the track. And so, yeah, I just kept training and knowing that even though it was prolonged, that I still wanted to do all of those things that I originally wanted.
Awesome. Okay, Sabrina, so we got one last question for you. If you had to pick one highlight of your season so far, where maybe you were the most joyful, when would that be?
It would definitely have to be winning the 800 on the indoor conference championship, because going into it, I knew that I had a decent chance of winning, but it still seemed kind of unlikely. So to cross that finish line first, and then being able to just really rejoice with my coaches and all of my teammates, was just the greatest feeling ever.
That's a good moment for sure. Thanks again for joining us on the Jag Sports Zone. We appreciate your time, and keep working hard and keep putting up those good times. Good luck, and you and your team this season. We will be watching closely.
Thank you. I appreciate it so much.
That was a great interview we had with Sabrina. Thank you to the IUPUI track and field team and Sabrina herself for taking care of business indoor and outdoor. We're going to take another quick break, Jaguars, but don't you go anywhere. Stick right around and we'll be right back.
Everyone says that college is a place to find.
Find yourself.
But I know who I am. I'm Naomi. I work hard, I love my friends, and I always want the ball. IUPUI is a lot of things, but most importantly, it's a place to be yourself. It's more than late night study sessions or serious amounts of coffee. It's a place to really learn something new, change it, and leave your mark on it. College was just the beginning, and what I do next is up to me.
Welcome back inside Cavanaugh Hall here in the Jag Sports Zone studio, and I'll be your host for the rest of the evening. Together with the Jag Sports team, we're going to fill you in with the upcoming events for our athletes. Let's check out where they're headed. After an entire week off last week for our women's softball team, our girls are very busy this week with the A4 game weekend ahead. The girls will swing off against Youngstown State this Friday with back-to-back games at 2 and 4 o'clock, so if y'all can make it out, go help our Lady Jags to another W. After that, the girls will wake up to 2 more games on Saturday, taking on the Penguins for another doubleheader. Those games tip off at 12 and 2, so good luck to number 17, Jenna Speth, who pitched a no-hitter last week, and the rest of the Jags. All right, let's talk about tennis. Our women's tennis team will pack their bags and hit the road on their way to Milwaukee to face off against the Panthers. They will swing off on Friday and Saturday, as both of those games will happen at 2 in Wisconsin, so good luck to the ladies. While our girls will be out of town, our men's tennis team will stay right here at home to host Northern Kentucky, as this is the first time IUPUI has hosted the Norse this season. We'll see if the Jags can grab some of the wins, as their games Saturday and Sunday tip off at 2:30. AP Woodall and our undefeated women's tennis team heads north to take on Purdue, Fort Wayne. We'll see if the Jags can keep up the domination of games that Valentine per se and the offense put on. That game kicks off at 4 p.m. After a day of rest on Monday, softball heads back to the road up to Chicago on Tuesday. The girls face off against the UIC Flames. We'll see if our girls can have enough energy after the 4-game weekend to finish off another win against UIC. Good luck, girls. And some huge exciting news for next week. You cannot miss the Swimming and Diving Horizons League Championships, hosted right here in Indianapolis. Even better, IUPUI is hosting them at the Natatorium. Be sure not to miss our Jag swimmers dive off on Monday and Tuesday of next week, followed by the rest of the swim team competing in the championships Wednesday through Saturday. Good luck to all the Jag swim team, and let's go grab some podium spots. As always, it's a pleasure delivering Jaguar Sports. From Cavanaugh Hall, we hope you enjoyed our highlights, scores, and exclusive interviews from this week. Thank you all for watching, and from the Jag Sports Zone crew, this is Cody Ferris signing off, and remember, go Jags!